What the fuck?
What's going on, guys? Big Al's Bike and Auto here, coming at you, and I've got some big news for you guys. If you couldn't tell, I am moving. I'm not just moving across town or Florida, I'm moving across the country. I'm moving back to my origins of New England. And you may be saying, are you crazy? Why would you leave beautiful Miami for New England? And when did this happen? Did you wake up today and decide you're moving? No, not at all. I'm gonna make this video quick because I have a lot more packing to do. I actually leave tomorrow. Now, I'm not totally done with Miami, both business-wise, and I haven't even put my house on the market yet because there's a lot of little repairs I have to do before I sell it. And I've been doing them. I can see you guys maybe remember the old porch I had here. I totally changed that. My beautiful tree is gone. I had to, it was pushing up the roof. So anyway, I've been working on the house a lot. Now I have a whole crew coming in after I move out tomorrow to finish up the big stuff, and then it goes up on the market. So I'll be back down here over the next few weeks, kind of wrapping things up, but I am moving with my possessions and my cars and my animals tomorrow. So this has been in the works for a few months now, going back to July. I have a new job up in New England, and it was too good of an opportunity to pass up on. I had no intentions on moving until I got this job offer, but I'm not too upset about it. So I'm saying that for those of you who think I'm crazy going up north. I've had my fun here and I'm ready to leave. I'll be coming back here plenty for vacation, the way you're supposed to do it. I have already bought a home up there that I'm moving into. It's gonna take me 2 days to get up there by car, driving the Escalade up with my furry kiddos in it. And I guess I should answer the pressing question that's probably already crossing most of your minds. What is happening with all the cars? My babies, these cars that I'm always talking about, that I keep buying, and I'm obsessed with, these 80s and 90s cars that many of you think I'm crazy for loving. But I'm like the Jesus Christ of Malays, you know. I love these cars and I save them from the scrapper. And I get so much enjoyment out of that, and driving these cars and seeing people laugh at my Cadillac Elante. This car makes me so happy. So they're all coming with me, with the exception of a few. Now, you probably think I'm crazy, and yeah, it is a little expensive. Again, this move has been in the works now for a few months, including negotiating shipping and all that kind of stuff. So I got a rate after some shrewd negotiating I was very happy with. It's actually a lot less than you'd think. I managed to get a father and son team, and I filled both of their trucks, and they're just doing a straight shot up from Florida to my new home in New England. So it's an easy trip for them. It's over the weekend, so I got a very good price. And you also have to remember, these cars, right? I already have them registered. I've owned them for a little while now. I know what they need and what they don't need, and I bought most of these at Copart for practically nothing, for less than scrap value. So to sell them down here, and sure, I could definitely sell them for a profit, but up north, these cars don't exist anymore. I mean, they're up there, but they're rusted out. And if you find a clean one, you're paying a premium for it, because some guy like me brought it up from Florida and doubled the price. So I'd much rather bring my cars up that are in excellent condition, that I own for way less than I could ever buy one of those for. Again, I could do Copart, sure, but I just want to buy the same cars again. These are my babies, so they're coming with me. Don't worry, it's not costing me too much. I mean, it's costing me money, but nothing too crazy. Cars are coming. A few are not. Obviously, the AT&T Malibus are not coming. I didn't have a chance to sell them. I did fix them up quite a bit. I'm not sure if you guys will see the second video on these before or after this, but I touched up a lot of the paint on them, like I do with the rattle cans. My truck's not coming. I'm leaving that here. Because again, I'm gonna still have this property until it sells, and I'm still gonna come down here for business and vacation. So truck's staying here for now. EG is staying here for now. And the Saturn, which I also managed to fix, I had a mechanic who could finally figure out what was wrong with it. There was a little kink in the harness, an area that was frayed up, and he repaired it, and now it's shifting like butter. If you don't remember, it was having transmission problems. So those cars are staying for now. Everything else is coming. I'm driving the Escalade up, like I said earlier, and if you don't see it out here, it's still coming. I have some of my cars over there, some of them down the street at another neighbor's house. I had to bring them all back here because they're getting picked up here tomorrow by the car carriers. So that's happening tomorrow. And you can see I've got a lot more packing to do. And I've been packing for days. I have a lot of shit. And every time I have to move, I regret it. But I haven't learned clearly. So a lot more packing to do. That's why I got to stop this video short. But that's that. The cars are coming. And Miami and I are done for now. I mean, again, at least for living here. I'll definitely be down here quite a bit still. I'm probably buying a lot of cars from South Florida and shipping them up because I don't want to buy any rust buckets up there. What's going on, guys? My moving truck showed up early and my car carrier is about an hour away. I have to move the cars right now, just a few, so the moving truck can take furniture out, and I got the car carrier coming the next hour, so I'll keep you guys posted. All right, so I'm here with car carrier number 1, and we are trying to figure out a route that we can take the cars without them snagging power lines and trees. Cool, huh? All right, so the cars have arrived. The question is, in what condition? And what a beautiful day for them to arrive. Fucking raining like hell. And I'm not gonna be able to tell if there's any damage that well because they're all gonna be wet. I'm just praying that here I didn't get any water in that leaking sunroof. Looks like it did. The windows are all fogged up. but oh, and there's the buggy, and it looks drenched. Beautiful. All right, so the cars have arrived, and I see a few things that already worry me. It's not their fault. I left the door open a hair on the blue Trofeo, and it's been raining for days. So Fiero sunroof leaks. I put towels over the seats, but God knows how much water got into that. And the buggy, the car covers had to come off because they were blowing around too much. So that's going to be a nice shop vac evening. But otherwise, everything else looks about the same. Here comes the Mustang. So I got work to do, but we'll see how everything is. All right, this is my visibility in the buggy. This car has no wipers. Actually looking over the windshield. Getting blinded by other cars. And the carburetor is tuned for warm weather, so it is not doing well in this freezing cold. But it's running, which is good, unlike the fucking Volvo and wagon. I've got AAA coming for the wagon. Those assholes wouldn't fucking take both. I go, what the hell am I paying for? I've never even used you guys before, and I pay for it every year. So I'm gonna see if I can bribe the driver into taking both. What's going on, guys? Big Al's Bike and Auto here, coming at you from the freezing cold. Some of you who've been watching me for many years now remember when I used to be dressed this way in the same jacket, going, you know, back 5+ years. I lived up here last, and here I am again. It's been a few weeks now. The footage you've watched, I've been here now for 2 weeks, and I'm just getting around to uploading and editing now. Let me quickly show you guys what's going on over here, and I'll give, you'll be seeing a lot more content up here at my new house. Same cars right now though. I haven't bought anything new up here yet. The one mix-up I had, and I talked about it in the video earlier on, I was gonna bring the Mercedes. That was the plan, and not bring the Saturn. I was gonna sell that. Only thing is, the morning that the truck came, the Mercedes wouldn't start. And I tried everything, it would not start. Tried different battery, I tried starting fluid, you name it, the car would not start. And being that I already paid for the spot on the truck, for the 14th vehicle, that's right, I shipped 14 cars up here, and I drove the Escalade up, so 15 cars are brought up here. But since I already paid for the spot for the Mercedes, I had to put something in its place. I wasn't gonna just let them leave empty-handed without a car. I already paid for the spot. So I brought the Saturn, and I actually don't regret it. It's gonna be a nice little beater to have up here. It's working perfectly still ever since I had the harness fixed. Let me tell you something, a lot of these cars put up a big fight with me when they got up here. The wagon wouldn't start, and the Volvo wouldn't start. I had to have them both towed, and I got them figured out now. It was actually, the wagon, I don't know what was up with that. The next day was kind of warm, and it started right up, but it's having some issues. We'll have to fix that together. I'll do some videos on it. The Volvo, the battery just, the battery was no good in the cold. I put a new battery in it, and it started right up. And of course, I had to tow them both that night because I had them dropped off in a random parking lot, and I couldn't just leave them there all night. So here's the Escalade. It gave me no issues coming up here. Mustang, I haven't driven much. You can see a lot of the cars are dirty from the transport. That was actually the night when it came in. I was inspecting it for rock chips. Fortunately, there was none, but I need to wash it. Fiero, you guys, I don't know if I told you, I'm ashamed to say it, but way back in late July, I had jump-started the Fiero, and because the battery was dead. I left it running to charge, which was supposed to be for a few minutes. Put it over one of my neighbor's driveways around the corner back in Miami, and completely forgot it was running. And 8 hours later, my neighbor called me when he got home and said, hey, your Fiero is smoking in my driveway. And I blew the head gasket. So it does still run. The coolant contamination, the oil is very, very minor, but you can smell it coming out of the exhaust. So obviously I'm not driving it. Driving as little as possible, basically just to get it on the truck and then get it over here when I got up here. But I'm gonna have to do some work on that engine this winter. Engine's still perfectly healthy, just have to do the head gasket, change the oil, and it should be fine. Here's the TI. TI is doing just fine. and the Century. Here is the 99 328 IS, also doing well, having no issues up here in the cold. Been driving that one a lot. I've got the van and the Volvo. The Volvo, as I mentioned, needed a new battery, and now it's running fine. The van is doing okay, but the carburetor is not too happy up here in the cold. It's about 48 degrees out right now. All right, so let's go into this garage, and I'll show you what I have in here right now. Here I can actually put the lights on. We'll be able to see what we're looking at. But we got the Elante, and I'm guessing that's from the AC earlier. I had it running for a few minutes. Hopefully, it's definitely water and not coolant. Lante's doing fine. And by the way, the car's pretty much no damage at all from transport. A couple of rock chips on the Elante and the Roadmaster from being on the bottom of the truck. It is what it is, very minor overall. All things considered, 14 cars. I can handle a few rock chips on 2 of them. And the buggy, that cover had to come off of it, unfortunately. It was just flapping around too much on the highway, and they were afraid it was gonna damage the paint, so they took it off. I had wrapped well, I should say my girlfriend wrapped the interior in plastic and put trash bags over the seats to protect them. However, it rained so heavily as these cars were coming up that the interior was flooded on the buggy. So this has been a few weeks now. I haven't even driven it, but I pulled the carpets up as soon as they got up here and let it dry out. I shop vac the hell out of everything. So it's all good, it's all dry. I just haven't driven it since. It's been too cold, so it's still in this drying position. Here's another one of my garages. And I have all kinds of parking over here. You can't see it. I guess it's kind of cool. Leaves it as like a mystery. And as we do more videos, you'll see more and more. But I have, this used to be a swinger resort. I think one of the reasons I was able to get it so cheap, most people don't want to buy a house that used to be occupied by swingers. Everything is paved. There was even an RV hookup. There were washing stations around the property. It was a swinger resort, but it was also a very, I guess, a car lover's paradise. Everything was set up for gearheads. I mean, all these garages and all these, every garage has power, has water, it has everything. Over here I have the Riviera and the Trofeo. I usually put the blue Buick here in the middle. I've got my big light from my carport I have in Miami. I'm gonna hang up these rafters. Again, I've only been here for 2 weeks. I've been mostly buying furniture and just getting settled in. So, haven't really had the time to do everything. But in here, I have the wagon. The reason it's in this garage is because there's a moisture issue with the weather stripping, and it gets very stinky inside if it's left out. These dew points. This dew every night, this kind of moisture builds up on the cars. So I have it in there for now. I also have another garage area down there, kind of goes underneath the deck. So I haven't even, here's the thing, I got 15 cars here, right? You remember in my house in Miami, I had about the same amount, and it looked like, a lot of you guys call it like a junkyard. There was all these cars in the front yard, it looked crazy. Here you can't even tell, most of them are inside the garage. I could even squeeze a few more in, which I probably will as the weather gets progressively worse toward winter. You can't even tell they're here. And not that there's anybody around to complain about it. I don't have any neighbors. But even if I did, you can't even tell there's any cars here. So here's the Saturn out in this parking area in the front. And I've just got driveways for forever, you know, all over the place. It's gonna be a lot of fun to plow this winter, that's for sure. But here's the Saturn. Well, what you can see of it, wow, is this camera coming in really bad? A little bit better. But that's that. I just wanted to kind of conclude this video showing that I'm up here, not leave you guys hanging. And there'll be lots more content to come. So let me blind myself one more time so I can conclude the video. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna turn this off before I go blind.